Okay, today we're gonna make Bollios. What Bollios are is like a French, like a small version of a French bread or a baguette type thing style. They're basically what we're using for like tortas. What tortas are basically like a Mexican sandwich. Watch my next video, you'll see what I mean about torta. We'll see about making one of those. But anyways, so basically that's what it is. What we got to ingredients to prepare for something like that is 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 cup of warm water. What I usually do is I run it hot water off the tap, and then by the time I use it, it's warm, right? So basically that's when I get everything on the ingredients. By that time, it'll be warmed up. That's how much warm you want. Okay. Also, we've got 3 tablespoons of sugar. 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, okay? 1 egg, and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. All right. Forgot one thing. Okay, back. All right. So the thing I forgot was also 2 tablespoons of yeast. 2 tablespoons of yeast. The reason why I forgot it is usually a good thing to do with these. I found it from a farmer's wife. They told us. Was that the best way to keep these things, or keep this, is the yeast, is stick it in the freezer. I guess it, like, what is it?
Hibernates?
Huh?
Hibernates?
It hibernates, okay, cryogenics maybe, I don't know. But cryogenics for yeast, who knows? But I'm guessing that's what it is. So hey, it seems to work really well. All right, so that's what we got. 4 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of oil, like I said, right? And 2 tablespoons of yeast, and 1 1/4 cup of warm water. Okay. So first thing we're gonna do is activate the yeast. All right. What we do is we go ahead and we pour the sugar. We're gonna basically what we're doing here, and we're also gonna be putting in the oil. All right. We're just gonna put the oil in, 1/4 cup of oil, right? Kind of give it a little stir. Basically what we're doing is we're creating food for the yeast. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah. Because that's very delicious food for yeast, I guess, not for us. All right, so we just pour the 2 tablespoons of yeast in there, kind of stir it in there a little bit. Kind of get them going. Just gonna get them good and wet so they can start eating. All right, the thing about yeast, now, we're gonna let it sit there for like a good 5-10 minutes. It's gonna start foaming. From here, it's gonna start foaming upwards. Should happen starting about 5 minutes. I would actually wait up until, put that there. I would wait up until, let's see, that's why I say 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes, should happen something. If nothing happens, if you wait until like about 8-7 minutes and you still don't see any kind of foam forming, then throw it out. It's not good yeast. So go ahead and get another package and start over again. It happens. I know, I've done it. So that's what you're kind of looking for. You'll start seeing it starting jumping. You'll start seeing foaming, and when it starts foaming, it's actually activating it. Okay. So before it was like way down here. Now it's like all that foam happening. Look at that.
Oh, it's still growing. Like you can visually watch it grow.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been about a good 7 minutes now, and you can see it's already developed pretty good, huh? So from where it started down here, now it's way up to here now. All right, so like I said, 4 cups of flour, right? So what we're gonna do is usually, if you got a KitchenAid or some kind of mixer stuff, get like a dough hook on it. We're gonna use a KitchenAid. Okay, all it's doing is doing what you would normally do if you were doing it by hand, rolling it out. That's all it's doing. It's just helping you out. Makes it a lot easier, right? We all like things to be easier, right? So that's it. Get one of these. You know, if you don't have one, get one of these. If not, I get it. You know, it's okay. Then you just roll it the other way. It just takes a little longer, but it's okay. It still works. All right. So what we're gonna do here is, like I said, 4 cups of flour. We're just gonna add it to that. We're gonna add the salt, right? 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna add the egg, 1 egg, right? We're just gonna throw it in there, right? I just kind of beat it up a little bit. You don't really need to. You can just keep it all whole and just throw it in there or crack it open, put it in there. No big deal. Nothing special about it, okay? So we got that, right? And then all we're gonna do is just pour this mixture in. All right. There we go. Whoop. Let's get the rest of it all in there. All right, so there we go. All right. Oops, little spillage. It happens. That's why you got this one. Look at the mess. Nobody knows. There we go. All right. So we're gonna lock it down, and then we'll start off slow and then just work it up. All right. So we're just gonna keep going until the dough starts cleaning off. What we're gonna do is just keep beating it until there's no more remnants of the dough itself or the flour along the sides and stuff, right? So we're just gonna continue doing this. Okay, so there we go. We went ahead and did that, and we're just gonna unlock it. So it just kind of comes there. We're just gonna take it off of here. Take it off the hook, just ease it off the hook. It's gonna be a little sticky. It's okay. Okay. So, like I said, we took off the thing, right? Forgot one thing. What you have to do is, what I like to do is keep a little bit extra flour off to the side, or keep a little bit extra water, just in case you need to, as you're, the thing is in whatever region you're from or whatever, how the humidity is between, you know, summers and fall and winter and stuff like that, the dough's gonna react differently, okay? So that's why you wanna have a little bit of flour left off to the side, or a little bit of water, to kind of look at your dough when it comes out and says, okay, do I need a little bit more flour? Do I need a little bit more? Is it really, really sticky? Then I'm probably gonna, and like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just tap my hand inside the flour, and then I'll start working it into the dough. Or if it's a little really dryish, then I would just dip my hand into water so it just coats it, and then work it that way, little by little, because you don't want to go too much, because then you'll be fighting back and forth. All right. So what I like to do also, I'll just throw a little bit of flour, not much. I just add a little pinch on the flour, because if we're dealing with dough, we always want to put flour on your surface, right? So we're just gonna grab the dough out. There we go. To me, see, that looks nice, actually, the dough here. So I'm not really gonna need anything right here. See how nice, and as I'm forming it in like that, it's not breaking apart. It's just nice and silky, just nice and little, you know. So that's basically what you're wanting, right? So let's go ahead and divide this up. So we're gonna go ahead and divide this up into 8. Depending on how big you want your bollios, they're basically sandwich things, like I said, buns. So depending on how you want your bollios and how big you want your sandwiches, it depends on how much you want to cut it up. Just go ahead and do it in 8s. If it seems to be too small for you once you make them, then do it in 6, you know, and then go from there, okay? So what we're gonna do is cut this in half, like that, all right? And then cut it in half again, right there. Right? And then cut it in half again. There you go. 8. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Same thing with this. Cut it in half. Each one we'll cut it in half. There we go. Alright. All we're doing is, I'm just going to roll them up into like a ball real quick. That's it, like that. All right. All right. So the way you form bolillos is basically what I like to do is, all right. So one of the first things we're gonna do is get a big pan. Get a big pan. Put some parchment paper on it, right? What we're gonna also need is water. So spritz some water, or spray some water on it, right? Also, what I've got here is a damp cloth. I just ran it under water. I wringed it, and just kind of damp, damp looking, right? Or damp. Right. So basically, now to form them, let's go back to forming them. All we're gonna do is I like to form them just by going like this with my hands, just, right? So I just kind of make it into that. All right. And then I lay them down to where I want them, and then what I do at the end is I'll pinch it and kind of make, as you can tell, like that. It makes it into a little dolphin nose. All right. So that's basically what I'm gonna do with all the other ones, right? I'm just gonna lay them down in here. I'm gonna roll them all out like that, right? Get them what I want. And lay it down in there and pinch the ends. That's what gives it the little character of a bolillo. That and the other thing I'm gonna do after that, right? All right. And this is just cleaned up, right? So, all right. So that's the first part, right? Then you get your spritzer, kind of spritz it down a little bit. All right. Got one more other thing we gotta do. Let's get a knife. This is a sharp knife. All we're gonna do is one of the other trademarks you do with the bolillos is you just put a slit down, like a 1/2 inch down into it. Just down along the top, all right? So what we're just gonna do is we're just gonna cut a slit in. That's it, that's all we're doing. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as good as you can. Just make a little slit. All right, so there we go. All right, like I said, we'll go ahead and spritz it down a little bit more, just a little bit, just a couple times. And then we're gonna lay the damp towel over it, right? Like I said, all I got, just enough so I got big enough so that you can just lay it over the whole thing, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it sit here for a good 30 minutes, basically. So we're just gonna let it sit there. Okay, so we went ahead, we've been waiting for we've been about 25 minutes. It was right between 15 to 30 minutes. In between there is what I was kind of getting at, where you want them set. You just want to rise a little bit, so you just space between 15 to 30 minutes, all right? So it's been about 25 minutes here, so we're just gently gonna get these off, or the towel off. See, there we go. See how they raise it a little bit more, That's okay. They're gonna rise a little more once we put them in the oven and such, all right? So we're just gonna go ahead and stick them in the oven. We've got the oven set for 425 degrees. So we're gonna put that in there for about, you're gonna watch it between 8 to 12 minutes, all right? And then we'll go from there, right? So just keep watching it, turn on the light, kind of watch it as it's cooking. Start off at 8 minutes and kind of go until you see that golden brown color on the outside, all right? So stick them in. Okay, so it's been about, let me see, about good 10 minutes. Yeah. All right, so let's check them out. Woo-hoo. Look at that. I was checking in between already before. So there you go. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna let these sit here for a little bit and dry up, and then dry up. I mean, cool down a little bit, and then we'll plate it up. All right. And I'll show you what you do with them. All right. Okay, here we go. Bollios, right? Got one here, right? You got several ways you can do it. Like I said before, what you do is you cut them in half, and you make them into a torta. I'll show a video right here, kind of show you kind of a prelude of the next video of how to make a torta, or actually a milanesa, and then having the torta. But as a prelude of that, okay? But also another thing you can use it for, I mean, you can use it for any kind of other sandwiches. make make it into like a ham sandwich. You have a ham sandwich like ham, whatever kind of meat you like or whatever. Carne guisada. Watch my video on carne guisada, and you'll see you can actually put that in there. Put some of that in there. Throw some, whatever kind of toppings you want on it, and then go from that. I mean, that's basically what a torta is basically, or a bolillo is for. It's a Mexican sandwich bread. Mexican sandwich bread. So basically, and you use that just to make all kinds of sandwiches. So like I said before, just cut it in half. Or you can actually just cut it down the middle like that. Right? You can see that it's nice and soft in the middle. Oh, that's good. Get some butter. See it like that. Hey, it's bread. I don't like bread and butter. Just top it up like that. Get a good little chunk of butter in there, just let it all melt inside of it, right? Oh, look.
Can't mess that one up with hot sauce, can you?
Can't mess it with hot sauce. Make it a sandwich, put some hot sauce on it. There you go. But, so, enjoy, alright?